Hey guys, it's Britt. Today we're here with a little Dougherty Dozen update. I had some recent thoughts, so if you're interested, please keep watching. Hey guys, so this is going to be put into another video that I am currently editing right now, but it's very important, so I want to put it at the very beginning of my video. I'm so super upset about this, and I am so enraged on behalf of the child that was the butt of this joke. I've talked so many times about how Alicia is allowing her kids to be made fun of on social media and, doesn't get rid of the comments a lot of times. She won't, she'll respond to weird comments. She will respond to positive comments and leave negative ones that are not so nice about these kids. And kids are always off limits. Always. Whether it's from followers, people reacting to videos, like y'all already know how I feel about that. Alicia allowed her child to do a dupes challenge again. And this little kid went around the house and pointed at members of the Dougherty family and said, da-da-da, dupe, whatever. She allowed one of her bio kids to call one of her adopted kids Sid the Sloth. And if you guys don't know who Sid the Sloth is, it's a cartoon character, so maybe some people would assume, oh, well, why is that a big deal? This child was making that comparison because of how the child looks, because of his appearance. It had everything to do with how the kid looks. And this child who was compared to Sid the Sloth has had a very, very sad history, a very tragic childhood. And we only know that because Alicia has made it very public. Later on in this same video, you guys are going to hear me sound hopeful that Alicia announced that she was going to be editing her videos, and I was hopeful that that would mean that maybe her content would get a little bit better. But I'm also at this point where I just don't think that she cares. And even if she is editing the videos, she just doesn't really care about things that might come off bad, things that might make her kids get fun of, make people make fun of her kids. Like, I just don't think that she cares. So I almost feel like I made a mistake in being hopeful for somebody like Alicia. How dare you, number one, not correct her child? Number two, how dare you put that video on not only TikTok but also YouTube? And how dare you act like an advocate when you are allowing your child to make fun of another child who has things like FASD and other problems that I'm not going to go into right now because it doesn't matter. Kids should not be bullying other kids. Adults should not be bullying kids. Kids should not be the butt of any joke ever, point blank, period. But this child has an elevated level of needs because he had a very rough childhood. And you allowed him to be the butt of the joke, and you not only posted it on one platform, you posted it on at least two that I saw. So Alicia Dougherty, you are not an advocate. You are actively allowing your children to be the butt of the joke, even in their own home, where that should be a safe space for them. They should not be made fun of by other kids in the Dougherty home. And it damn sure shouldn't ever be posted on YouTube. That should have been a point to make to your child that it was not funny, it's not a joke. But you thought that it was so okay that you shared it with all of these millions of people that you think are fans of you, but let's be honest, they're turning on you every single day, and that's why your views are down. People are seeing through the facade that is the Dougherty Dozen. I cannot believe that she would allow that to slide and actually post it. I'm so angry for that child. Just stop allowing your bio kid to run around the house and make these weird comparisons. He compared another kid to Peter Griffin on Family Guy. It's not funny. And anyone who looks at this and laughs, you are part of the problem. And that's my opinion. So either way, I'm going to let this video continue, but this was by far the most important point of the video, so that's why I wanted to put it in the beginning. Yes, things can be a little bit more lighthearted with Alicia, and we can talk about things that don't matter, but things like this are deplorable and disgusting, and I think that they should be talked about, and Alicia should have some shame for actively allowing this to happen and thinking that it is so okay to post it on her social media. It's gross. All right, you guys, so I have decided, for time's sake and just not wanting to recycle the same stuff over and over again, going forward, if there are shopping hauls that either y'all ask me about or I watch myself and I have opinions about, I'm not going to react to her shopping hauls because, number one, they're really long, and number two, she buys this same stuff over and over and over again, and it's just not worth a reaction. I would turn into literally a broken record, and I already repeat myself sometimes too much for some people. But either way, I don't want it to become super annoying. So if there are thoughts that I have, it's going to be Cliff's Notes style, like I'm doing this video. Hopefully that is cool with you guys. But obviously I will throw in clips as needed or whatever. I know that the Dougherty content is of interest to my audience, but I also don't want to just constantly upload hour-long reactions of stuff that we've talked about literally a million times, and she's doing the exact same thing. It's not a little bit different or I have different thoughts on it. It's literally buying the same stuff, so it's not worth an hour-long video. I hope that makes sense. But either way, let's just start from the top. So she goes to Walmart for this haul, and she starts out by buying everyone brand new toothbrushes. And I want to know how you guys feel about this because probably 8 years ago, we switched over to electronic toothbrushes, and it was probably the best decision that I randomly made one day at Target. Number one, I didn't like constantly throwing away old toothbrushes. I just felt like it was wasteful, it was expensive, and I also knew that electronic toothbrushes do a better job at cleaning, preventing cavities, all of that stuff that most of us want in our lives. So my question is, she'll buy these disposable electric toothbrushes. Why not just buy the kids electric toothbrushes? If you're worried that they're going to lose the charger, have the charger mounted with a zip tie or some kind of mounting system on the wall, so the charger is always there, it's always ready to use. And the kids need to understand that they have a certain color toothbrush, and when they need a replacement, you pop a replacement on there. To me, it seems like toothbrushes is one of those things that she's just constantly buying. Do you guys have an electronic do you guys have an electric toothbrush? What do you guys think of it? I think it's a really big upgrade, and I also think that it does a much better job at actually cleaning my teeth. And with all the sugar and junk that she feeds her kids, I mean, I think that upgrading their teeth cleaning experience would be an added positive and just something good that would outweigh a lot of the not so good that she does with these kids, but that's just how I feel about it. Now she goes over to stock up on body wash and shampoo and all of the things. She mentions that she's using some new hair care items for the twins, and she doesn't say what she's using or where she found it or whatever.
I've been using a similar product. They don't have it here. I want to show it to you for the twins, and it's been working really well.
Number one, great. I think that's good because they need a tailored hair care routine because they have a different hair type than everybody else in the Dougherty home. That's not rocket science. Number two, why are we just now doing that? Because to me, as a viewer, I see that she has had them since they were infants. Why didn't you take the time to educate yourself on what their hair needs were literally 5, 6 years ago? Why is it so late in the game? Is it because you're being called out on social media? Is it because you're lazy? Is it because you don't care? Is it because you're trying to appease your TikTok audience? What's the real answer there? I'm glad that they're getting, hopefully, the products that they need for their hair type. But why did it take 6, 7 years to get there is my question. Seems a little delayed. Now, she does go on to share that 2 of her kids have IBS. And thank God she didn't say which kids have this issue. But again, this ties back to oversharing medical issues, oversharing what kind of medications the kids are taking. Am I glad that she didn't say the kids' names? I am. But TikTok does not need to know anything medical related about any of the kids. Whether or not you're saying their names, your TikTok following is not privy to this type of personal information. I don't understand. Like, why can we not understand that? Stop telling TikTok medical problems and the bathroom habits of your children, for Christ's sake. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a Dougherty Dozen grocery haul if Alicia didn't buy 200 paper plates and 150 paper bowls. This is something she buys constantly. And I understand, I've talked about this before, but what I want to say here is, how many paper plates can a family of 14 go through? Half the time, I don't even see them sitting down and eating dinner at the table. I personally do not believe that they are going through 30 to 40 paper plates a day in these paper bowls. I think that, again, it is Alicia being lazy. She doesn't want to wash dishes. She doesn't want to hand wash them. And she is not strict enough to teach her kids that they need to help out with chores around the house. So paper plates and paper bowls it is. It is, the impact that this family alone has on the environment is insane. And you Dougherty Dozen fans that want to excuse that like it's fake outrage and it's no big deal, it actually does matter. What all of us does matters. And if there's something small that you can change to make a positive impact, why would you not? And we're not talking about a month where the dishwasher is broken. This is years of her not wanting to wash the dishes that her children use. Paper plates, paper bowls, plastic bullshit, like all of the things, just, it doesn't matter. She mentioned in this video that she was still going to be packing the kids' lunches despite the fact that they were on school break. And I have a question about that. If your kids are home for winter break, spring break, summer break, whatever kind of break your kids are on, even if it's just a long weekend, why are you still packing their lunches? To me, it's because you're too preoccupied with your social media nonsense to make them lunches. So you just pack their lunches. To have the kids home from school for this break, it would have been the perfect opportunity for her to make some different type of content. Why not get the kids involved in making a healthy recipe that they could have had for lunch? Try something new. Get them involved in something that is not tied to these iPhones and iPads and switches that they're constantly on. Make that a video. A healthy lunch option that the kids actually helped create. That could have been something different. Yeah, she's still showing her kids, but bare minimum, it's number one, it's something healthy. And number two, it would have gotten them involved in something that is not tied to their devices. Now, she did decide to go down the juice aisle, and there were a few comments calling her out on this, that she just buys so much of this sugar-loaded stuff. And yes, she buys bottled water, but most kids, if they have a choice between a bottle of water and a cup of Hawaiian Punch or Sunny D, most kids are going to pick the sugary beverage over a bottle of water. Let's be honest. For me, it's just the hypocrisy of her coming out and saying, oh, these kids can get addicted to anything, and then literally just constantly giving them all of the sugar, all of the junk, all of the candy. And that's what I keep going back to when I look at these hauls. It's not entertainment for me. I find it quite boring, but I can look through these videos and find the hypocrisy of Alicia trying to act like she's some kind of educator on what these kids need, but her content says otherwise. She mentioned, of course, she had to get these special drinks for these float challenges that she does. The float challenges to me just make me gag. I don't think it's creative. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's anything. And she does it herself. That's, again, something else that she doesn't get the kids to get involved and do their own thing. It's something that she makes a TikTok, and then they guzzle down the sugar and they go back to their Switches, their iPhones, their iPads, whatever. Of course, she had to also stock up on more mac and cheese. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. In her garage, she showed that she had all of these cups of this instant mac and cheese. If you're making your kids dinner, then why are they flying through all of this mac and cheese? I don't really understand it. And yes, I understand that that's quick and easy, and that is cool for some people. I also think that she just buys in excess because that's just what she does. She stockpiles, she hoards, she doesn't go through what she has. She has to buy new. She went and she was buying donuts, gum, chips, Cheetos, Hot Pockets, pizza rolls, French fries, ice creams. She literally bought 12 one-pint ice creams and said that it was for the kids. 1 pint of ice cream is not a single serving size for a child, especially not a child that should not be getting as much sugar as what she's giving them, but go ahead and give them a whole pint of ice cream for themselves. She also, of course, had to stock up on cake pops. She saw those towards the end of her haul and had to buy a whole bunch of cake pops as if she didn't have enough sugar already. Now, one thing that I noticed, and I want to mention this, she bought this canned salsa. Now, Alicia is a full-time content creator, and even though her content is not for me, because she's a full-time content creator, she is at home all day. Why are we not like trying to make things fresh? Salsa is something that is super easy to make fresh. Instead of buying it in a jar or in a can, and I understand that some people do not have the time, energy, or flexibility in their schedule to be able to make stuff like this from scratch. But I am talking about Alicia and Alicia only in this situation. Why not make the salsa fresh? Again, that could be something that you have some of the kids help you with. You know, I'm sure she has a food processor. It can't be that difficult. Literally, it could take 15 minutes, have one of the kids help out. That would be more device-free time that they could have, and integrate it into a vlog. You're teaching the kids how to do stuff around the kitchen. And then maybe we can migrate over to chores. That's a different conversation. Now, I always see her stocking up on chips, cookies, candies, all of this kind of stuff. And I wanted to go back and see when her last haul was. And it was posted 9 days ago. And in that haul, she bought the same stuff that she bought in this haul. One of two things is happening. Either some of her kids are eating like way more chips than what anyone could even fathom, or she is just buying because she has an unhealthy shopping habit. And I think that it's option 2. And this goes back to the food waste. You're hoarding this crap in your garage. It's not being gone through. And instead of cycling it out and getting rid of it, you buy more 9 days later. That is a problem. Food waste is a problem, hoarding food is a problem, and fumbling the opportunity to properly donate to your local homeless shelter is also a big problem. But I've dissected that enough, so I will not talk about it tonight. But if you know, you know, we've talked about it before. 2 more things I want to talk about in this video. Number 1 is one point that I did not mention in my last video is that Alicia recently shared that she is editing her vlogs. So I am hopeful that maybe this will help some of the oversharing that she does. I also hope that it improves her content to cut out her shuffling around the kitchen or making a bed or just sorting laundry and not saying anything. Like, that is super boring, and you should not expect people to literally just watch you say nothing to the camera. So I hope that her content is more digestible for people who are actually interested in what she has to say and not listening to, dead airtime. But I also hope that she learns to cut out some of this stuff that she has been oversharing. It's bad enough that it's already on the internet, but let's do better going forward. Let's not mention kids' names while we're mentioning medical problems. Like, yeah, of course, like, she's going to mention these medical problems because that's just what she does. But if you say the kid's name, then edit the kid's name out. We had that conversation, remember? Let's just edit kids' names out. Bare minimum, at least then people won't be able to say, oh, well, so-and-so is going through so-and-so, because the kid's name wasn't there. I think that's a pretty baseline kind of thing to expect when someone announces that they're going to start editing their videos. And I hope she also cuts out some of the dead air time. Second thing I want to talk about before I close this video out is the fact that a lot of y'all mentioned this in my last video, how her taking the oldest kid's bio mom with her to the mall to buy these Nike tech suits and expensive shoes that she bought. It wasn't so much for the bio mom to come along and enjoy a day out and help shop. It was so that Alicia could flex on her. Alicia is 110% she is someone who fully participates in flex culture. She likes to flex on her subscribers. She likes to flex on people in her community. She likes to get attention from the other parents at school of the things that she's buying her kids. She does not care if it makes you feel bad. She doesn't care. And she also doesn't care that all of that money that she's blowing has been made off the backs of her kids. But her bringing the bio mom along was not like a, oh, help me pick out gifts for your son. It was a, look how much money I'm able to spend. Look at what I'm doing that you are not doing. And even if she didn't say that out of her own mouth, things don't have to literally be said word for the actions to show kind of what the gist is. And a lot of y'all picked up on that in my last video. So I did want to mention it. Oh, the last thing I want to mention, this is actually the last thing, the whole washing your chicken thing. What I said in my video was that I wasn't surprised that Alicia would not have explored that. I don't wash my chicken. Now, chicken is not a meat that I prepare constantly. I don't wash it. I just don't, because the cooking is going to get rid of the bacteria. We know how that goes. The reason that I mention that is because there are some people who decide to do that because they are very afraid of germs, and that's just what works best for them. The reason that I mentioned it with Alicia is to say she is someone who has been shown to not work in a sanitary kitchen. She is okay with giving, hairy sandwiches to the homeless people, in that whole video, even though they didn't really go. My point was that I wasn't surprised that it wasn't even on her radar because of what we've seen from her previously. I hope that that makes sense. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. You do you. I personally don't, and that's what works for my household. But the people that I have heard of, like in my real life, like these are people who are very afraid of germs, and that's what they've decided. Alicia doesn't seem to really care if she's working on a germ-free surface or a germ-filled surface, and that's just my opinion as a viewer. So I did want to mention that here at the end of the video. But those are going to be my thoughts for now. Her shopping hauls are the same recycled nonsense. They are like, she's buying the same stuff. She's doing the same meal plans. She's not cooking anything from scratch. She's not getting her kids involved when she could be teaching them the basics. I started to learn stuff in the kitchen from my dad when I was in between 10 and 12. Now, obviously, I was taught age appropriately, but I learned a lot of stuff, and I started to really enjoy getting involved and having him allow me to help out instead of just, sitting on the couch and watching TV or, whatever. I was able to get involved, and those are also memories that I really hold on to now. And in my opinion, I think the Dougherty kids could really use some device-free time. And Alicia has some opportunities to get them off of their devices, but she does everything. She does the chores, she does the cleaning, sorting laundry, while the kids sit on their iPhones or Switches or whatever they do. So either way, that's just my perspective as a viewer, but either way, that's going to be it for now. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. You want to say something?